What's going on YouTube? This is Trey here from Team Hotheads. Today I'm coming at you with a deck profile for Dragon Ball Super and actually Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm one of the few members of Team Hotheads that plays multiple card games. I play Dragon Ball Super, I play Yu-Gi-Oh! And recently I've gotten into playing the Naruto card game with a Chrono Clash card game. But right now, I know it's been a while since we've had anything on the channel, so we're going to be coming back into activity, I guess, with this Jiren deck profile. This is from set 9 of the newest Dragon Ball Super card game, I guess expansion you could say. And this Jiren leader I just really thought was awesome. I really like Jiren in general in the Dragon Ball Super card game. I love his quadruple strike abilities, the fact that he's just like supposed to be really powerful for no reason. So I decided to literally buy a couple packs. And so what's in this deck is essentially everything I've gotten from the Tournament of Power box, the original Universe 11 stuff, and just combined with whatever I pulled from the set 9 packs that I bought, which of course was the Jiren Leader. And I think I got a nice little build. It'd be something definitely fun, casual to play. It's very defensive. Essentially, you're being defensive and kind of poking at your opponent until turn 5, turn 6. That's when you try to go in for the kill. So turn 5, turn 6 are definitely going to be your kill turns. But without further ado, we're going to get to the deck profile. And our leader is, of course, Jiren. He is the new leader, so he has an auto where you choose one card in your life, so he does Self-Awaken, add it to your hand, and then you can either give him, you can either draw a card and give him extra 5k for the turn, so he's automatically a threat no matter what, or you can play a Universe 11 card 2 costs or less from your hand. And most of the time we're going to be playing the 2 costs or less from the hand. We're not going to be we're not going to be drawing and giving him 5k unless we really need to. And then his awakening is when he's 4 lives or left, you untap 1, draw 1, flip him over, and he becomes Jiren, full power Jiren, the unstoppable. He's a little better on this side because his auto. Sorry about the glare. His autos, whenever he swings, he just gets to draw a card and get extra 5k power. So sort of similar to the hit from set 1. He's just a bigger of a threat, 20k swinging at your whatever he wants to swing at. But his activate battle is where the backside of this card comes into play. His activate battle says that you can strike your life, and then as long as there's a Universe 11 card in play, he cannot take any damage until the start of your next turn. So the way I have this set up is that most of the cards and most Universe 11 cards that I'm playing are blockers. And then the new Kunshin Universe 11 card gives everything barrier. So essentially we're just going to set up a bunch of blocker barriers until we're ready to go in for the kill. So you could strike your life as many times as you want and your opponent couldn't kill you because it's going to take your opponent a lot to essentially get rid of everything on your board. Even if they have something that can say warp multiple battle cards, if that card doesn't ignore a barrier, they still can't get through your board. So essentially you're just going to be sitting on blocker barriers until you're ready to do what you want to do. So starting off with our 1-drops, we have 2 Topo, Gaze of Justice. He's one of the few green cards we play. I do play a couple green cards just for little text. And he is, if your leader is Universe 11, when you play this card, or if it's placed in the drop area from a skill, you get to make your opponent essentially discard 1 card from the hand. So, but you can only do it essentially once that turn. So you can play him for 1 green, make your opponent drop a card from their hand, and then when you send them to the drop area due to a skill, which there is a skill we trigger a lot in this deck, when you send them to the drop area due to that skill, your opponent has to discard another card. So he's basically snatching 2 cards out your opponent's hand. Yeah, Fearless Assault, Krillin. He's just extra pressure. He's a critical. He can strike a life and be a critical. Most of the time, I just charge this guy. Once I get more of the Universe 11 cards I really do want to have in the deck, I'll probably take Krillin out and put the Universe 11 cards I really want in here. I don't think the crit yourself and give yourself critical is really necessary for the way the deck needs to work. Yeah, 2 Hero Combination Tupper. I might bump this guy up to 3. Just because he can look at the top 3, I believe. Look at the top 3 for Universe 11 card, and there are a couple Universe 11 cards in specific we are looking for, so we do need to dig for those cards and to get them immediately. And the best, probably the best one drop in the deck, Kunshin. Yeah, Kunshi, sorry. Kunshin Threaded Energy. Permanent, all your wrestling cards gain barrier while he's in play, which is great. So you play a lot of little low cost Universe 11 cards. They all have barrier, so it makes it a lot harder for your opponent to get rid of them. And then we have this one drop Vaughn. Like I said, I have a lot of blockers in this deck because we're just sitting on blocker barriers until we're ready to attack. And we have this one drop Vaughn Dynamite Blaster, who's just a blocker and a 5K combo if you need it. Moving on to the two drops. The best two drop in the deck is, of course, this guy right here, Binary Blade Casaro. Yeah, Casaro. I'm going to call him Casaro. Looks like Bison. So his auto is when he's played, if your leader card's Universe 11, and you play him or he's sent to the drop area because of a skill, you can choose one Universe 11 card in your with an energy cost of 1 from your deck and play it. So a lot of times, you choose one from your deck and play it, then you shuffle your deck and you negate skills for the turn. So a lot of times we'll play like the Lawn, and then the following turn he'll have his blocker ability, or we'll play the Kunshin, and then by the next turn he'll have his blocker ability. We never really play Tupper off of Carso because he won't get his skill either way. So we're only really ever playing Vaughn and Kunshi off of basically Bison here. And then just like the Topo, when we send them to the drop area because of a skill we have, which is it's only one card in the deck that I do use that for, he'll trigger his ability again. But unlike Topo, his ability doesn't say that you can't use it again that turn. So if you play him and play a one drop from your deck and then you get rid of him with one of your skills, his auto will trigger again, if I'm reading that correctly. Next two drops from Tournament of Power. I love this guy, Little Cockroach. Hero Combination Zore. It's basically a blocker you have to kill twice, and you can play him for free off of Jiren. We have Hero Combination Vaughn, or as my friend likes to call him, Charmander. He's another two drop that you can play off of the Jiren, and he untaps at the end of the turn. So Hero Combination Kunshi, he'll probably definitely come out once I get the other cards I'd rather have instead of him. He can help us awaken, and he can also switch stuff to rest mode, but I mean, he's not really that great. It's just a two drop. Most of the time, just like Krillin, he's mostly energy most of the time. So what I will definitely probably replace a couple of the Kunshis for is definitely Harley Quinn here. When you play her, you know, if you play her and your leader is yellow, you can choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and negate its skills for the turn. And if the card's in rest mode, it can't be switched back to active mode until your next charge phase, until your opponent's next charge phase. So it's stuck in rest mode, which is great. And then if it's sent to the drop area by your opponent's skill, so this one won't trigger off of your skills. But if it's sent to the drop area by your opponent's skills while you have a green energy, they have to discard a card. So similar to the Topo. And then of course our super combo is going to be Key, Bomb, Support, Cockcoats. I think I'm saying the right Cockcoats. Basically you can use it while Jiren's at 5 life. That's the best part about it. And you can also play it for free off of the Jiren. And then off of the other Jiren we play, you can bring it back from the drop area, so you can use this super combo over and over and over again. Speaking of that, Jiren has the only and best 3-drop in this deck, which is this guy right here, Jiren Righteous Leader. Auto, when you play this guy, you can choose up to 2 Universe 11 cards from your hand and or drop area and play them. So you could combo your super combo, play this guy, and then put your super combo back, and it won't have its skills for the turn, but you can just wait till the next turn and it becomes a defensive 10k combo. So you can reuse your super combos. You can bring back your hero combination Vaughn. You can bring back your Zore, who will still be a blocker that can't be KO'd twice. It has to be KO'd twice, which is one of the reasons I like to do. Most of the times I bring back Zore in a super combo whenever I play this guy. But he combos well with another card that I'll probably add more copies of when I take out the Kunshin, which is Alley of Justice Topo. So Topo says when you play him for 4 energy, look at the top 10 cards and choose Universe 11 the 2 Universe 11s, you play them in rest mode, and then you just play them in rest mode. It doesn't negate their skills, you just play them in rest mode. So you can look at the top 10, and if you see 2 of these guys, you can play both these guys in rest mode, and then trigger both their autos to bring 4 more Universe 11s from your hand to your drop area. So you just, went, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards just from playing Topo. And that's what I meant when I said, it's a little hard for your opponent to kind of get through your board where you can do things like that. Same thing goes for the Carso, because again, Topo's ability doesn't negate your skills. So you could play Topo, and if you see 2 of the Carso, you can play both of them, and then the auto will go off and play 2 1-drops. So you can play 2 Carsos and then 2 Kunshins, and everything still will have a barrier, which is, it's just crazy to think you could do that. Next 4-drop we're going to play are 2 Infinite Alertness Dispo. He basically becomes a 2-drop when you have enough Universe 11s in your drop area, which means you can play him for free with the Jiren leader, which is great. And he untaps at the end of the turn, so you can swing with the Jiren leader, play this guy for free, swing with him, and then untap and have a 20k blocker in your turn, which is awesome. Same thing goes if you play him off of you can't play him off of the Topo, because it has to be 3 or less, and he only has it when it's in his hand. But you could play him off of the Jiren because Jiren doesn't say it has to be in rest mode, so you can play him off the Jiren for 2, and they'll be in active mode, so they won't have their blocker until the end of the turn. But you can play them in active mode, unlike the Topo where it has to come in rest mode. And the next 4-drop we play is this guy, and this is the guy that triggers most of our abilities that says if it's into the drop area by a skill. Bomb out Double Devastation. Says activate main, choose 3 of your battle cards, place them in the drop area, on the drop area, and then you play this card from your hand. So I typically never play this guy for his energy. What I typically do is Carso into Kunshin, and then Jiren plays me a 2-drop for free, and then I just destroy them all to play him. And then I have a 20k blocker. And the Carso will trigger again because it's a drop area. The Topo, if it wasn't triggered that turn, will trigger again and make your opponent discard a card. And then he'll also KO card when it comes in. So if you play the Topo, and then the next turn you say play the Carso, and then another card off of the Carso, and then you just destroy all of them and play this guy, you'll destroy one of your opponent's cards, discard one of your opponent's cards from the hand, and then play a 1-drop from your deck. And then you still would have your general leader that can play a 2-drop for free from your hand. I think that's pretty awesome. He's also a 20k blocker, much like the Dispo. And the Kunshin doesn't specify color, it's just Universe 11. So this guy and every other blocker in the deck all become blocker barriers once you put Kunshin on play. And that's what typically helps you stall to turn 5 and 6 when you're going to play these big guys here. The big guys we're playing are Absolute Justice Jiren and Jiren Strongest in the Universe. I actually wanted to either do a 2-2 split or 2 of this guy and 1 of this guy, or maybe 3 of this guy and 1 of this guy. I haven't played with the new green-yellow Topo or the new green-yellow Jiren. I actually really like this Jiren because you can swarm the field so easily with this deck that you'll be playing this guy for 5 energy with no problem. And since he hasn't been out for a while, if you catch your opponent slipping and they tap a lot of their stuff, so they try to go in and they tap the energy, tap their battle cards, when you play this guy, his auto will send every card your opponent has in rest mode to the drop area. Now, he doesn't have the flex, so he can be hit with a counterplay, but he's a 35k 5-drop, so there's not many counterplays that can hit him. So if your opponent tries to go full in and you say stop them, and you got this big board of Universe 11 cards, you play this guy turn 5, and everything they have that's in rest mode is just gone. This guy, on the other hand, does have deflect. He's another quadruple strike, and he cannot be countered or blocked. So that's just the better part of him. This guy needs your Universe 11s to be in drop area. This guy needs your Universe 11s to be on the field. So what I typically do is turn 5, I'll play this guy and try to go for game with the quadruple strike and then a Jiren strike and everything else. And if it doesn't work, turn 6, I'll combo everything off. Then turn 6, I'll play this guy because I'll have all my Universe 11s in the drop area. So we have another quadruple strike. Extra cards, I'm playing 1 Bat Ring Laser just to make sure my counter goes through. I believe this card's at 1. If it's banned, I'll just take it out. We're playing 3 of the Kokut Zone. I just like that I can switch my opponent's cards to rest mode. that's pretty much it. I might switch one of these or two of these to Time Magic. I do like Time Magic as well. And maybe Flying Nimbus. And then my favorite card, since I'm playing a deck of mostly blockers, King with G Surprise Attack. Most of my defensive cards are blockers, and this is the Activate Battle, which is why I do try to play some green. I'll typically probably charge one of these or charge one of the topos if I see a green first. And then as soon as they start swinging at my blockers, they think, you know, they're going to kill it. And you just go, okay, revenge. So my blocker will most likely kill whatever they're swinging at. So my blockers will have barrier, blocker, and revenge, which is great. But that's the deck profile. You can say it's a very heavily defensive Jiren deck profile. It's mainly made to swarm the field with barrier blockers and just kind of sit on them until turn 5. Kind of force your opponent to use other resources, because by the time you get to turn 5, you'll have a bunch of little guys on the field. You swing all the little guys, and then you drop the big bomb with the quadruple strike. And that's basically the game plan, and we stick to the game plan very heavily with this deck. And then past turn 4 or 5, once you have this guy awaken with the barrier blockers, you can strike your life and they can't, you know, kill you. And you can do that up to 2 times. I wouldn't go down past 1 life, but you know, you could do it for 2 turns, and then that would just get you from turn 5 to turn 6. And then hopefully between the 2 big Jirens, your quadruple strike should have enough to kill them. Have a good night. This is Trey from Team High Heads, and I'll see you in the next video.